I explained the first page, that is 187 of 14th lesson, in earlier video. If you want to watch the video, link is provided in the description. Now I am going to explain the matter in the page number 188 of this lesson in this video. A bigger revolution was made later in October 1917 and it was not spontaneous. First revolution. First revolution, February 27th, March 12th. First revolution occurred on February 27 / March 12. This is Julian date. This is Gregorian date. Hence, it was called February Revolution or March Revolution. On this day, revolutionaries occupied the government offices. After few days, that means March 2, March 2nd, / March 15th, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated the power. This is about the first revolution. Now, second revolution occurred in October or November. According to the Julian calendar, it happened in the October. According to the Gregorian calendar, it happened in the November. So, second revolution was also called as October Revolution or November Revolution. It is bigger revolution than the first revolution because peasants, soldiers, workers and other sections of the people under the leadership of Vladimir Lenin participated in the revolution. So, it was a bigger revolution than the first revolution. It means many people participated in the second revolution. Not spontaneous. Not spontaneous. It means this revolution happened. The process of revolution started in the April 1917. In this month, Vladimir Lenin returned from his exile to the Russia. As soon as he came to the Russia, Bolsheviks, with support of Soviets of peasants, Soviets of soldiers, Soviets of workers, agitated against the provisional government. Finally, October or November, they took power from the provisional government. So, the entire process was taken place approximately 7 months. So, this revolution was not spontaneous. This revolution happened according to the efforts of the Soviets under the leadership of Bolsheviks. They made many efforts, they made many plans. So, it was the revolution was the outcome of their planning to occupy the government. The liberals and aristocrats who ruled Russia after the abdication of the Tsar decided to continue the war to preserve the honor of the fatherland. Actually, in the first revolution, People demanded peace and bread. Peace and bread. On March 8th, or February 23rd. February 23rd, this is Julian date, this is Gregorian date. Difference 13 days. In the city of St. Petersburg, nearly 10,000 women participated in the procession demanding peace and bread. After a few days, revolutionaries occupied the government. After a few days, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated the power. Immediately, provisional government was set up. Now, provisional government should withdraw from the war and maintain the peace, but it decided to continue the war. Fatigued by military reverses and upset at economic shortages, the common people did not want the war. Fatigued by military reverses. It means many military personnel lost their lives in the war front due to inefficient management or due to old armaments, etc. Though Russian army was a big army, but it faces many losses of lives. So, people fatigued by common people disappointed by this military reverses, and also economic conditions were also declined. Food shortage happened. So, common people want peace. They did not want the war. But provisional government did not listen to their demand. Provisional government wanted to continue the war. So, these people began organizing themselves in councils which were called Soviets. Soviets is council of people, a group of people. Peasants formed a group, that is one Soviet. Soldiers formed a group, that is another Soviet. Workers formed a group, that is another Soviet. So they formed councils. Why? Because to hear their demands to the provisional government, to express their power to the government, to show their strength to the government. Hence, they formed these councils. These councils are known as Soviets. Such Soviets of soldiers, industrial workers, and also people in rural areas were the expression of common people's power, which was channelized by a group of Russian Communist Party called Bolsheviks. Different types of Soviets formed. What are they? Soviets of soldiers, Soviets of industrial workers, Soviets of rural area people. It means peasants. Different sections of people formed different Soviets. They wanted to show their strength to the government. They wanted to express their demands to the government. At that time, Bolsheviks channelized these groups, directed these groups, supported these groups. Who supported? Bolsheviks supported. Who are the Bolsheviks? Russian Communist Party. A group of Russian Communist Party. Formation of the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. It was founded in 1898. It was found on 1898. This party name was Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. This party was divided into two groups. One group is Mensheviks, another group is Bolsheviks. Mensheviks, one group, another group is Bolsheviks. Two groups. Which party? Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. This party was divided into two groups. These are radicals, these are liberals. These Bolsheviks separated from the party and formed and renamed their party as Russian Communist Party. Russian Communist Party. These Bolsheviks supported the demands of Soviets, directed the Soviets, and gave strength to the Soviets, and with help of the Soviets, Bolsheviks agitated against the provisional government. The Bolsheviks were led by Vladimir Lenin, 1870-1924. Vladimir Lenin came to Russia after his exile in April 1917. As soon as he came to the Russia, he led the movement. Bolsheviks were able to win the confidence of the Soviets. Soviets means Council of Peasants, Workers and Soldiers, because they took up the demand for immediate and unconditional peace, nationalization of all land and its redistribution to the peasants, and control over prices and nationalization of all factories and banks. What were the demands of Soviets? What were the demands of Soviets? 1. Peace. First one was peace. They wanted the immediate peace, unconditional peace. It means they wanted to stop the war. And another demand is nationalization of all land redistribution. Another demand is nationalization of land. At that time, much land owned by the feudal lords. Many peasants, almost all peasants, they didn't have a piece of land. They took land from the feudal lords for rent. They tilled the land and paid the rent to the feudal lords. So almost all the land owned by the feudal lords. Now These Soviets demanded that all the land was all the nationalized by the government. It means all the land government should taken over all the land and control on the land, and it redistribute the land. This land was redistributed among the landless peasants. This is the another demand. And also control over price. Control over prices. This is another demand. Prices should be affordable to the common people. And another demand was nationalization of factories and banks. Almost all factories and banks were owned by the private individuals. Capitalists owned factories and banks. They produced goods, sold in the market, gained much profits. And also banks were also owned by the private individuals. These capitalists' aim was to gain more and more profit. They don't bother about the welfare of the workers. They pay less wages. They earn high profits. So workers demanded that these all factories and banks should be nationalized. These are the demands of the Soviets. Soviets of peasants, soldiers and workers. These Soviets demanded for peace, demanded for nationalization of land and redistribution among the landless peasants. They demanded government should control over prices. They demanded all factories and banks should be nationalized by the government, and the profit should be distributed among the workers. These are the demands. These demands were supported by the Bolsheviks. They gained confidence of the Soviets. Bolsheviks gained confidence of the Soviets. That means if Bolsheviks came into the power, they tried to solve our demands. Soviets believed the Bolsheviks that if Bolsheviks came into power, they consider our demands. The Soviets under the Bolshevik leadership seized power from the provisional government in October-November 1917 and immediately took steps to end the war and redistribute land. When did Bolshevik seize power? October, November. Here, look here, Bolshevik uprising in Petrograd 1917. Date 24th October. On 24th October, Bolshevik uprising was started in Petrograd. Petrograd present name is Saint Petersburg. At the time of revolution, its name is Petrograd. Now its name was Saint Petersburg. This is the capital of the Russia. Then Russia. This is the capital of the then Russia. Now Russia's capital was Moscow. I show you where was Petrograd. Look here. This is Baltic Sea. This is Baltic Sea. Here Petrograd, that is Saint Petersburg, was located. In this place Bolsheviks uprising was started. On the next day means October 25th, they occupied the government offices. October 24th. October 25th. On this day, Bolsheviks uprising was started. It means they started to occupy the government buildings and government telegraph offices, government printing presses, government military quarters, etc. Started on this day and completed on this day, October 25th. On this day, they seized power from the provisional government. These dates are Julian dates. November 7th. Difference is 13 days. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 13 days difference. 13 days ahead of the Julian dates. Gregorian dates are 13 days ahead of the Julian dates. So this November 6th. October 24th, November 6th. October 25th, November 17th. When did second revolution occur? If this question was asked in the examination, you have to answer the question November 7th or October 25th. Because on this day, Bolsheviks seized power from the provisional government. Immediately took steps to end the war and redistribute land. Soviets demand to end the war. So immediately they ended the war. They withdrew from the First World War. As soon as Bolsheviks came into the power, they withdrew from the First World War. First World War happened between 1914 1918. In 1917, Russia withdrew from the First World War. That is, the first demand was considered. Next, immediately they take steps to redistribute land. They seized all the land from the private individuals and started to redistribute the land. Full peace could not return. Full peace could not return to Russia because there started a civil war led by white armies of Russian monarchists and anti-communist soldiers with help of Britain, France, USA and Japan. Civil War. Nineteen 1920. This was given in the timeline. The Civil War 1918-1920 between two groups. Civil War means war between two sections of the same country. Within the country, different sections of the people fought with each other. That was called Civil War. Here in this Russia, one group is Bolsheviks and their supporters. Who supported Bolsheviks? Soviets. Against group is anti-communists. Anti-communists who opposed the communism and monarchists. Monarchists means who support the monarchism. It means who wants king's rule. And these two sections of the people were supported by the Britain, France, USA, Japan. Britain, France, USA, Japan. These four countries are capitalist countries. They supported anti-communists, monarchists, because they feared that if communism was succeeded in the Russia, it may be extended to our countries also. In our countries also, communism revolution may be happen if Bolsheviks won the Russia. If Bolsheviks ruled the country, then this type of revolution, that is communism may be extended all over the world. So these capitalist countries supported these two sections of the people. The army belongs to this group called White Army. Army belongs to Bolshevik government is called Red Army. Red Army, Bolsheviks. White Army, anti-communists and monarchists. Between these two groups belong to Russia, fought each other to gain control over the Russia. Finally, Red Army won in the Civil War. In 1920, White Army was defeated and Red Army won the Civil War, and then only peace was established in the country. Look here, this is Britain, a capitalist country who supported White Army. And another country is France. This is France. Look at the map. This is the France. This country also capitalist country. It also encouraged White Army. Another country, USA. It is situated in the North America. This part is known as USA, United States of America, and also this is Alaska. Alaska is also part of the USA. This part and this part together called USA, and another country Japan. This is Japan. These four countries supported White Army to crush the Bolsheviks. But finally, the Bolsheviks army, that is Red Army, defeated the White Army and gained absolute control on the Soviet Russia. These were all defeated by 1920. The Bolsheviks also announced the ending of the Russian Empire and permitted to various nations under it to become independent. Immediately, Bolsheviks gave permission to the various nations to get independence. What were the nations? I show on this map. Observe it. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. Here, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. This is Black Sea, this is Caspian Sea. Between these two seas, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. These three countries, these are 5 countries. Here in Europe, these 8 countries belongs to Asia. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova. These are 6 countries. All these 14 countries, 6, 3, 9 plus 5, 14. All these countries were part of the Tsarist Russia, was part of the Russian Empire. As soon as Bolsheviks came into the power, they gave independence to these countries. However, gradually most of the former Tsarist Empire's nations agreed to join the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, which was set up in 1924 by the Soviet government of Russia. After some years, they again joined Soviet Russia. These countries again joined and formed USSR, because these countries are communist countries. To protect communism, to gain more strength, to protect from capitalist countries, and also due to some other reasons, these nations again joined with the Soviet Russia and formed USSR. USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Russia. Union of Soviet Socialist Russia. When did it form? 1924. 1924. At present, and dissolved in 1991. Dissolved in 1991. Now, these countries are independent. At present, these 14 countries are independent. But between 1924 to 1991, these countries were members of the USSR. Now, these countries are independent. With this began a great experiment of building a country without exploiters like feudal lords, kings, and capitalists. Until now, Soviet Russia has feudal lords. Feudal lords. They exploited peasants. They forcibly taken away the produce from the peasants. They exploited whom? Peasants. And kings. Kings ruled as their wish. Kings collected different types of taxes from the people. So kings also exploited common people. Capitalists. They established factories, produced goods, sold at higher prices, earned much and much profits. But they didn't spend amount on the welfare of the workers. They paid less wages to the workers, and working hours are very long. In this way, these capitalists also exploited the workers. Feudal lords exploited the peasants. Kings exploited the common people in form of different types of taxes. Capitalists exploited the workers by paying less wages and giving more hours to work. Now, in this new society, feudal lords were there were no feudal lords in this new system, in this new society. There were no kings because people's elected government will rule the country. There were no capitalists because all factories are taken over by the government. There were no feudal lords, all land was taken over by the government and redistributed to the landless people. In this way, in Russia, a great experiment was made to build a new society without feudal lords, without kings, without capitalists. The USSR tried to build a society that was industrialized and modern and yet did not have inequality or exclusion of people on basis of birth, gender and language. USSR built a new society. In this society, all people are equal. No one excluded on the basis of birth. In earlier days, on the basis of birth, they were excluded. Only rich persons are included. Now, no one was excluded on the basis of birth. Gender, whether they male or female, they are also treated equally. Language, if they speak any language, all people are treated equally. There is no inequality in this new society. In this society, no inequality. All are equal, all are included. No exclusion. It means all are included. No inequality. It means all are equal. And industrialized. USSR built many industries, and to develop the country industrially, the USSR developed more and more industries, and all people are given equal rights, and all people are included in the development of the USSR. Now, we read the timeline. Debates over socialism in Russia, 1850s, 1880s. Sometimes in the examination, timeline may be given and ask some questions. We have to answer the questions. Suppose if this table is given in the exam, and which type of questions may be given, I say you what is meant by socialism. In this table there is no definition about the socialism. Now we have to answer the question. Socialism, it is a doctrine, it is a principle that calls for public rather than private ownership or control of property and natural resources, land, mines, etc. These are all natural resources. Government should have control on these resources, or government self it own the resources. When government own these resources, government distribute the profit among the people. Government spent the money for the welfare of the people. Sometimes government had control over these resources, either control or ownership. That is the socialism. Natural resources, land, primarily land, because this is meant for agriculture. Mines, industries based on the natural resources. Mines based on the natural resources, industries are established. So mainly these natural resources government should control these natural resources, or government own these natural resources. In the capitalism, all these were owned by the private individuals. All these resources owned by the private individuals. They establish the industries, they produce products on the land, and they sold the products, and they earn more and more profits. In the capitalism, there should be inequality. It is the phenomena of the capitalism, inequality. But here in socialism, all resources should be owned by the government, or all resources should be controlled by the government. Government should take steps to distribute these profits among the people, so all people are equal in the socialism. This is the main aim of the socialism. Society as a whole work together, and society as a whole distribute the profits. That is the socialism. Formation of the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party, 1898. When was it established? In 1898. I already told you about this party. It was divided into two groups, Bolsheviks and Mensheviks. Finally, Bolsheviks came out of the party and renamed their party as Russian Communist Party. Now, the Bloody Sunday and the Revolution. Bloody Sunday. When did it happen? 1905. 1905. 9th January. 9th January 1905. This date was not given in our textbook, but I explain you what was Bloody Sunday. 9th January. On this day, Sunday, according to the Julian calendar. According to the Julian calendar, 9th January was Sunday. On this day, number of industrial workers under the leadership of Father George Gapan. Under the leadership of George Gapan, a number of workers marched towards Winter Palace, King's residence, Tsar Nicholas II. It is in the Petrograd. Now it is called as Saint Petersburg. Number of workers marched towards Winter Palace to give a petition. In this petition, their demands were mentioned. What were their demands? Long working hours should be lessened. It means they were working long working hours. Now they demanded to lessen working hours and hike in the salaries. They were paid low wages. Now they were demanding salaries to be hiked, working hours to be lessened, and they were working in bad working conditions. Now they were demanding good working conditions, and also some other reforms. These were the demands of the workers. They marched towards Winter Palace, that is Tsar Nicholas II residence in Petrograd. The king did not want to listen their demands. He ordered his army to open the fire. Immediately the army opened the fire and nearly 200 people were died, and so many people got injuries, and so many people were arrested. So this incident happened on the Sunday. Many people were died. So this was known as Bloody Sunday. It happened in the year 1905 on date 9th January, that is Sunday, according to the Julian calendar. This is about the Bloody Sunday Revolution. 2nd March, Julian date 2nd March, Gregorian date March 15th. On this day, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated the power. 24th October or November 6th. 24th October is Julian date, November 6th is Gregorian date. On this day, Bolsheviks uprising in Petrograd started. The civil war, I already explained you. It happened during 1918-20. By 1920, white armies were defeated and peace was established in the Russia. Formation of Comintern in 1919. 1919 March. What was established? Comintern. It was the short form of the Communist International. International, COM, communist. In this word, from this word COM is taken. International, from this word intern, INTER, intern was taken. Comintern. Clubbing these two words, a word was formed, that is Comintern. Comintern means Communist International. It was an international organization. Why was it established? To promote communist revolution in the world. First communist revolution was happened in the Russia, and in 1917. In 1919, Communist International was set up to promote this type of revolutions all over the world. This is about Comintern. Beginning of collectivization, 1929. In 1924, Lenin died. After his death, who came into the power? Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin. He ruled the country. He followed twin policy. Twin policy. One is rapid industrialization. Another is collectivization. Collectivization means all the peasants in a village should hand over their land along with tools, machines and animals to the collective farms. All farmers become the members of the collective farms. They all together work and peace. All peasants together work collectively. All land is pooled. All machines, all tools, all animals are pooled, and they work together. All together they work, and they distribute product among themselves. This is known as collectivization. So sometimes a question may be asked, what is collectivization? You have to answer this. Collectivization. Who introduced collectivization? Answer is not exist in this timeline. Collectivization is or was. Collectivization was introduced by the Joseph Stalin. In which year? 1929. What was the aim of the Comintern? This is indirect question. The answer is not exist in the timeline. Comintern is an international organization. It was set up to promote the communist revolution among the communist revolution across the world. What is civil war? A civil war is a war between two groups of people within the country. In this Russia, what are the two groups? One is Bolshevik group, and there is another group consists of monarchists and anti-communists. Bolsheviks army is called Red Army. Monarchists army is called White Army. I already explained what is Gregorian calendar and what is Julian calendar. What is Julian calendar and what is Gregorian calendar? If you want to see the video, link is given in the description. Watch this video. You understand about Julian calendar and Gregorian calendar. Thank you.